Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host, Red. We got views today from Modern Dating here.
Filthy, filthy.
What are you on about?
You have trapped my Sean into having your baby, but not his, because I have got proof here
What are you
that
on about?
you have been a scheming little...
No, I haven't.
Yes,
I love
you
Sean.
have. No, you do
Shout outs
not.
to Mom.
How can you look at me and tell me lies to my face?
I'm not lying.
You're an absolute liar.
I'm not lying.
Yes, you are a liar.
What are you on? What's with that?
So this is when I had the baby last week and last night. Seem to have him every bloody night, don't I? While you're off gallivanting. So I looked after him, I cleaned his teeth, and then I sent it off for DNA testing.
Do you know how creepy that is? Oh, without my consent.
I don't give a shit about
It's
your
so creepy.
Oh, but you'll
All of us without my consent. Yeah, lying.
consent for me to look after him, will you, all night while you're out
Grandma,
about?
no, I haven't.
Yes, you have.
No, I
Anyway,
haven't.
this came back from the DNA testers, and this says that you are the mother, and is Sean the father? Is
Yes.
he? No, he isn't. Some dirty skanky been out and somebody else, and
That's
then you
not
come back
true.
and try to nail my son. Well, he's not falling for
That
it.
is
You
not-
can.
Hey, I know you've never liked me, but it's going as far as making a fake
You
letter
are
about
damn right.
that.
I've never liked you. Could just look at you. You can barefaced lie to anybody.
Pretty much, lady. Pretty much. Mom. Get her!
Yes, ma'am, to many lads getting played like this. Well done, Grandma. Good mother protecting her son. His mother's goal was to protect her son from 18 years of child support for a child that is not his. And this is something the child's mother needs to understand. Her goal was to ensure her son was making a fair contribution, because it wouldn't make sense for him to carry that level of responsibility, while the biological father walks away without any financial obligation. Many people would agree with it, especially since she had valid reasons to believe something wasn't right. It reached a point where she felt she had no choice but to take action, and as we now see, she was right. Her worst fear was confirmed. The child is not her grandson, and this is the difficult reality that everyone involved must now face. These types of cases happen more often than we think. One study found that approximately 1/3 of paternity tests result in a negative finding, meaning the man tested is not the biological father, and that's only among the cases where a test was actually done.
True.
In many others, men either never suspect or don't have the courage or means to verify it, and they end up raising children who are not biologically theirs.
Put a finger down if your dad died and then you find out that he's not really your dad and your mom has kept this from you for 27 years, but she gives you the name of a man that could be your biological father. So you look him up on Facebook and you find a man that looks just like you, but the catch is he's Norwegian and lives in Norway. So you sit on it for about a year, but it's eating at you. And so you finally reach out to him and you make contact, and he says that it could make sense. So you both take 23andMe DNA tests and it links you as father and daughter. And then about another year later, you're about 3 days away from hopping on a plane to go meet your dad and your
Girl, this is a lot of explanation just for one finger, by the way.
Norwegian family for the first time.
So her mother lied to everyone for all those
Pretty
years,
much.
not considering the deep impact that lie would have on those involved. Now this young woman will do her best to build a father-daughter relationship, but unfortunately because of that lie, it will never be the same. They can't reclaim all the years they lost, and that's what her mother failed to consider when she made that decision. She chose who she believed would be the better father for her child, and in doing so, she prevented the real father from knowing and enjoying all those precious years with his daughter. That's the heartbreaking reality in these types of cases. Most of us understand the importance of those early stages. It's during that time that the bond is truly formed. Sadly, they no longer have that opportunity. Now they are just two adults who know they are biologically connected, and we all know it's not the same.
Do you think the woman should be offended that a DNA test is
Only
being
time
asked?
a woman will be offended if she has doubts that it may not.
No, she'll be offended
Who she-
because you asking her to do
Who-
something, and that means you don't trust me.
But this will be by law.
Now,
so
if it's
this-
by law, whether you're offended or not, who cares? It's part of the process.
Damn, she already offended.
Right.
If you're in a committed relationship, absolutely offensive. We have all watched enough Maury and Jerry Springer to know people lie a lot. I wouldn't be offended. Let's get it over with so we can move forward.
Damn right.
I understand where she's coming from, but she
I kind of really don't.
Also needs to consider it from his perspective. That's what would make a real difference. Cases where the DNA results come back negative are real and documented, and they show that, unfortunately, people do lie. With that in mind, those who have doubts shouldn't be made to feel as if they're doing something wrong, because the possibility of deception exists. Those who criticize or complain about someone asking for confirmation aren't being realistic. Anyone is capable of lying, so if there's...
I mean, everybody wants confirmation. That's why people constantly ask, you love me? And we constantly tell each other you love each other. There's just certain confirmation. You can't really just tell me that it's my child. That one doesn't really give me any confirmation whatsoever.
There's nothing to hide, there shouldn't be an issue. Often the people who make a big case about being questioned are the ones with secrets.
True.
And their reaction is a clear sign that they don't want the truth to come out. One woman in the comments said she would find it highly offensive if her partner requested a DNA test while in a relationship. While I understand her point of view, we have to stay grounded in reality. The truth is, there have been cases of paternity issues even within marriages. Simply being in a relationship doesn't guarantee that it won't happen.
I know him my whole life. He don't even when I call my father, that's who I grew up knowing as my father. So Mr. Roberts is my biological father. That's it.
Well, I always believed that Jasmine was my daughter. I raised her as my daughter as the other children in my life. She only knows me as a father. I never even knew anything about this gentleman here.
So 29 years.
Damn.
Yes.
He's been through everything with you.
Yes. I had a phone conversation with my mother. Then she mentioned Mr. Banks. And she said, don't you remember the guy that I told you who thought he was your father? When she said that to me, Your Honor, it was a what moment. Like, what are you talking about? So she said that he wanted to get in contact with me. I gave her my number to give to him, or she gave me his number. I can't remember how we actually got in contact. And then we reached out to one another.
So all of a sudden, a man named Mr. Banks comes to the picture, and this man could be your father.
Yes, Your Honor. My mother told me that someone else could be my father.
I was kept in the dark about all this. I never knew anything about Mr. Banks. I also, spent 8 months in jail for unpaid child support. And I'm $75,000 in arrears. I'm the last one to know everything.
Mr. Roberts, you are not the father.
Still my daughter. I love you. You're always gonna be my daughter.
Good man. I mean, what else can the man do? Yes, I'm also not going to be mad at a man for cutting ties and ending things right then and there. But I also am not going to be mad at the man. He raised her. He raised this woman. Of course, this is his daughter.
The next result reads as follows. Mr. Banks, you are the father.
Okay. I was going to say, if he was not the father either, I was diabolical.
Do you want to be a part of her life?
Yes, I do. Because I love you. And I always will love you, as I told you before.
Maybe she thought it wouldn't matter whether her child was raised by her biological father or another man. But the reality is, it does matter. They wouldn't be in that courtroom today if she hadn't made that decision. Now her daughter will have to live with a sense of emptiness and a lifetime of questions that may never be fully answered.
And the man.
And the sad part is that in some cases, that information is hidden to protect themselves. Sometimes it's a result of infidelity. So they keep that secret to cover their back, ignoring the fact it will affect their children on a deeper level later in life. And we haven't even addressed the emotional toll on the man who believed she was his child. The man who was there through it all. The man who spent countless sleepless nights at the hospital with his child. This is what also should be considered. Sadly, there are cases where the decision about who will raise the child is made after the pregnancy, which is based on who seems more stable or capable. But that's not how it should work.
Damn, that little scene right there of the dad putting the kid on the leg and that took me back to my childhood right there when I used to fool around with dad, and when all 3 kids would just jump on dad and dad would give us rides on his legs like that. Fathers.
That's a decision that needs to be made with honesty from the beginning, not after the fact. In this particular case, he served 8 months in jail for unpaid child support. On top of that, he now owes $75,000 in arrears. And only now does he learn that the child isn't his. Meanwhile, the biological father has lived freely without any responsibilities. It's not an easy situation to deal with.
Isn't it like it's diabolical always, right? Like the father didn't do anything, didn't contribute in any way, but he still wants to be in the child's life all of a sudden and wants all the perks of having that child. So it's man.
What's your age?
26.
25. Are you ladies single?
Yes.
Yes.
Why do you think that is?
We're smarter than most men, probably.
What has led you to believe that?
We're about to be surgeons.
Being that y'all have reached that level, do you think that makes your dating pool larger or smaller?
I would say smaller.
Yeah.
I think a lot of men are a little intimidated by a successful woman.
Or could it be that you just want a man who is way more successful than you?
No, I think it's really hard to be a lot more successful than a surgeon. Like, yes, you can be a little bit. Like, there definitely are people out there, but I think
that's exactly what you still want, though.
Overall, it's pretty hard. There's a lot of degrees, a lot of education that gets involved, and I don't think that's the case.
Would you be comfortable dating a man who made less than you?
Yeah, because we're going to make a lot. Yeah. So, yes. I think there's...
They say this, but all my BS detectors are going off and my nose is itchy, which is... I'm allergic to BS, guys.
There's a certain intellectual level I would want to be able to carry a conversation with, but I don't think it's a matter of how much they make.
He could be a bartender, he could be the waiter at P.F. Chang's, as long as you had intellectual conversations.
Again, it comes down to the conversations you're able to hold with each
other. Why you always lying? Stop fucking lying.
So long term, you don't think as a woman, if you were footing the bills, taking care of everything, that would make you less feminine in the relationship?
No, I'm not really worried about being less feminine.
So why do you think so many women strive to have a man who makes more, earns more, and pays everything in a relationship?
I don't want to
work. Based on their initial...
I don't want to work, but you went to become a surgeon. One of the most in-depth careers out there that you have to work, and you work some hours.
Initial statements, it's clear that they've built their entire identity around their profession.
Correct.
And later they'll likely claim that men are simply intimidated by their success. They stated that they are single because they are smarter than most men, but that was a curious way to justify not being able to form a relationship with the kind of man they desire. What stood out most in the interview is that neither seems to understand what most of us actually value when dating. That disconnect likely explains why they're still single. They appear to be leading with their degrees and future earning potential, but that approach appeals to only a very small subset of men.
I mean, he's right. They totally made their identities as we're surgeons, future surgeons. We're going to be surgeons. We're going to be making a lot of money as surgeons.
The truth is, most men don't care about how much money a woman makes.
Nope.
In fact, what was said at the end of the interview completely reinforces that point.
So why do you think so many women strive to have a man who makes more, earns more, and pays everything in a relationship?
I don't want to work.
That one sentence undermines everything she previously said. If a man were truly interested in her because of her potential income, both would be in serious trouble because by her own admission, she has no intention of working. So let's look at the contradiction. She claims she's too intelligent for most men to handle, yet she also says she doesn't want to use the very degree she worked so hard and probably went into debt to earn. How does that make sense?
How does this all make sense to women? I'm gonna go into debt, I'm gonna work so hard so I can be a surgeon. I'm gonna make so much money because I'm a surgeon. I'm a prestigious surgeon. But if I find a man that can make more money than me, I don't even wanna work. I don't wanna work. I'm a bum. I just wanna be a broke, dusty, musty, crusty surgeon. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that, and I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.